Okay. Hi guys. So this is our bit of a hyena interaction for the Circle of Life Festival. You can see on the signboard right behind you. Okay, so hyenas. Hi, Cherry. Okay, so these two are two of our female hyenas. Okay, so the first thing a lot of people may not know about hyenas is that they're actually led by an alpha female. There's no such thing as an alpha male. Okay? Let's say we have 5 hyenas, we have 10 hyenas, 5 are female and 5 are male. The weakest hyena, the weakest female hyena will always be stronger than the strongest male hyena. Okay? So in hyena land, females rule. That's it. And what helps them is that they're actually a lot bigger than the males. The female hyenas are typically about 1.5 times the size of male hyenas. Even at birth, these guys, the females tend to be bigger. Okay, so over here we have Hecuba, and behind here we have Cadbury. So these are our two female hyenas. But these two, neither of them are the alpha female. Our alpha female is currently separated because of some medical issue, but we're actually working on putting her back together with the group. And her name, it's not the fiercest of names, and she's got a very nice smile, but don't let her fool you. She is the alpha female. Her name is Dots, because she has dots. Not very creative, but that's besides the point. Okay. One other thing is that if they were to position themselves nicely, all female hyenas have what we call pseudo-penises. Okay? Does anyone not understand what that means? I can explain it to you in more simplistic terms. Okay? So yes, they do have an organ that looks like a male penis, but they also will urinate and they will mate and give birth through that pseudo-penis. Okay. So it's very, very difficult, as you can imagine, the mating process to be going. It's going to be a lot more difficult than your typical mating process. And so the reason why for this is there are a lot of studies that have been done, but a lot of them have come to sort of the same conclusion, which we don't know the exact reason as to why the females have this pseudo-penis. But it could be because of there's this hormone called androgen, which is typically associated with aggression. More typically found in males. That's what makes them more aggressive and all that kind of stuff. So, but female hyenas, especially in late pregnancy, it's been found that higher ranking females. So let's say this girl right here, she's a higher ranking female. And so she will actually give her pups a boost of the androgen that and it's more than let's say she's the second ranking hyena, it will be more than her. So even before birth, she's making sure her pups have a higher social status than her pups. Okay? So which is not very common in a lot of animal species. Usually if you want to be the top, you gotta earn it, you gotta fight for it, and because you are exactly the same as every other animal or species. But these guys, they actually give their pups a little starting boost in life. Okay, one other thing about these hyenas is that they can run up at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, so a lot of people say you can just outrun these guys, it's fine. No, nobody can outrun a hyena. 60 kilometers an hour. And great, the best thing is that these guys, they can eat and run at 60 kilometers at the same time. I am unable to do that. I've tried running and eating at the same time. Impossible. Okay, but these guys can do it. And the reason for that, and the reason for that is because, as you know, hyenas, they're very famous for stealing their food, yes? We've seen a lot of documentaries that these guys, they steal food from hyenas, or cheetahs, or leopards, or that kind of, or all those kind of animals. And so, if you steal something, the last thing you want to do is hold on to it, yes? So what they do is that they will eat the food, they will just eat it whole, and then they'll run away. And so when they reach a safe spot, they will puke it back up, and then they will eat the food. The reason for this is because is to make sure that also that everyone has food, and also because the alpha female eats first. If another hyena was to try and maybe get the alpha position and eat the food first, she will put hyenas down in the food. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, so she is useless because if she was to show any sign of weakness, they would perceive that weakness and then they will overthrow her, or they will attempt to overthrow her. One good example is our males. So we have one group of our males is we have a father and two sons. So at first obviously the father was the so-called alpha of that small clan, but as he grew older and his sons grew stronger and he grew weaker, eventually his sons overthrew him and now he's at the lowest hierarchy. A lot of people think that's cruel, but it's to ensure that the strongest hyenas survive. Yep. Okay, so another thing about these hyenas is you can see that neck is very thick, very strong. Some people say it's the Mike Tyson neck, which is I can see the comparison. And so these guys have been known to crush bone. So you name it, your ankles, your femurs, every single bone, skull. They can eat and they can crush it and they can digest it. Their stomach actually is so strong. They have the second strongest bite force in the whole animal kingdom. The first one is the crocodile. Okay? So it's like eating, if you take a bunch of chips and you stuff it into your mouth, that's kind of the sound that the bones will make. Alright. Okay, so, and when they defecate, if you leave their defecation to dry, like say 2 or 3 days in the sun and I step on it with my boot, it crumbles into white powder, which is, does anyone know what the white powder is? Oh, it's calcium. That's how strong that stomach acid is. They can digest calcium into powder within a few days. Yeah, so they can eat anything. They're broccoli, anything they can eat as well. But these guys, they are good scavengers, but they can hunt prey as well. If there's nothing to eat, they will hunt, and they're very, very good hunters. The alpha female will be the one giving out instructions. You run there, you do this, you do that. And that's how they work together to tear down the animal. If they see one hyena is getting tired, the alpha female will tell another hyena, go and give that hyena a break and you cover their position. So that's what she does. She delegates. She doesn't do much of the hunting herself, but that's what she does. She delegates. Right? Okay. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions regarding hyenas or anything like that? Or if I explain something you're not sure about it, please feel free to tell me.